Open your utility app. Go ahead, open it. Look at the balance due. I want you to look at that number specifically. Does it feel like a violation? Does it feel like you are being held hostage by the grid? In 2026, this is the new normal for millions of households. Energy inflation has outpaced general inflation for 3 years straight. The utility companies are passing the costs of grid modernization and volatile fuel prices directly to you. That quiet draft in your hallway? It's not just a breeze, it's the sound of money leaking out of your bank account. But while most people are just paying the bill and complaining, a smarter group of homeowners are slashing their costs by 40, 50, even 60%. And they aren't sitting in the dark freezing. They are leveraging 2026 technology, tax credits, and a bit of physics to game the system. Today, we are going to perform surgery on your home energy profile. We are going to calculate the real return on investment on appliances. We are going to talk about the battery arbitrage trick that very few people know about, and I'm going to give you the exact sequence to cut your bill in half. Let's start with the biggest lie in home ownership: I'll upgrade when my old stuff breaks. This is financial suicide. If you are running a furnace, AC unit, or water heater from the early 2000s, you are essentially burning cash. Step 1. The phantom load purge. Before we spend a dime, we need to stop the bleeding. In 2026, the average home has more plugged-in devices than ever before. Smart speakers, EV chargers, gaming consoles, computers. Studies show that vampire power, electricity consumed by devices that are turned off, accounts for roughly 5 to 10% of your residential energy bill. Let's do the real math. The average US home electricity bill in 2026 is roughly $180 a month. 10% of that is $18 a month. That's $216 a year. Over 10 years, you have wasted $2,160 powering devices you aren't even using. Action step: buy a smart power strip or a simple kilowatt meter for $20. Check your entertainment center and your home office. If your TV, gaming console, and soundbar are drawing power in standby mode, plug them into a smart strip that cuts power completely when the master device is off. This is the easiest, zero-skill money saver. Step 2. The thermal envelope audit. You cannot fix what you do not measure. Most people think insulation is just pink fluff in the attic. It's not. It's a system. In 2026, you don't need to hire a guy with a blower door for $300. You can do a basic DIY audit. Light a stick of incense or a candle on a windy day. Walk past your windows, your electrical outlets on exterior walls, and your attic hatch. Watch the smoke. If the smoke moves horizontally, you have a leak. Here is the math on air sealing. If you have half-inch gaps around your can lights in the attic, that is the equivalent of leaving a window open 24/7. Heating and cooling account for roughly 50% of your energy bill. If you seal those gaps with a can of spray foam for $10, you reduce your air leakage by 15 to 20%. On a $200 bill, 50% is heating/cooling. That's $100. A 20% efficiency gain saves you $20 a month. That is $240 a year. Raw on a $10 can of foam, 2,400%. Step 3. The heat pump pivot. This is the single biggest money move in 2026. If your FAC system is over 15 years old, do not repair it. Do not replace it with a standard AC and furnace. You install a heat pump. Old mindset: heat pumps don't work in cold climates. 2026 reality: cold climate heat pumps work efficiently down to -15 degrees Fahrenheit. Let's look at the math. A standard gas furnace is maybe 95% efficient. For every dollar of gas you buy, you get 95 cents of heat. A heat pump is essentially an air conditioner that runs in reverse. It moves heat rather than creating it. Modern heat pumps have a coefficient of performance of 3 to 4. That means for every $1 of electricity you use, you get $3 to $4 worth of heat moved. That is 300 to 400% efficiency. If you currently heat with oil or propane, switching to a heat pump cuts your heating costs by 40 to 60% instantly. If you heat with natural gas, the savings vary based on local gas versus electric rates. But in 2026, with gas prices volatile, the heat pump often wins, especially when you factor in cooling efficiency. And here is the rebate hack. The Inflation Reduction Act incentives are still active in 2026. You can get a 30% federal tax credit on the cost of the equipment and installation. Some states add an extra $2,000 rebate. A $12,000 installation might actually cost you $7,000 after incentives. If it saves you $100 a month, the payback period is under 6 years, but the system lasts 15 to 20 years. The rest is pure profit. Step 4. The water heater revolution. Most people ignore their water heater until it floods their basement, but it accounts for roughly 18% of your energy bill. If you have an old tank water heater, you are paying to keep 50 gallons of water hot 24 hours a day, just in case you want to shower at 3 a.m. The 2026 fix is a hybrid heat pump water heater. It uses the same technology as the HVAC heat pump. It pulls heat from the surrounding air to warm the water. It is 3 times more efficient than a standard electric tank. It saves the average family of 4 about $300 to $400 a year. Plus, it dehumidifies your basement or garage as a side effect. Action step. Check your utility company's website. Many offer instant rebates at the point of sale for these units. You might walk into a store, see a tag for $1,200, and the utility rebate instantly takes $400 off. Add the 30% federal tax credit, and you are getting a premium appliance for the price of a cheap one. Step 5. The Solar Plus Battery Arbitrage. This is where we stop paying the utility and start playing the market. In 2026, solar panels are commodity items. The price per watt has stabilized. The real game is the battery. Why? Because of time of use rates. Many utilities in 2026 charge you different rates depending on when you use power. Off-peak, middle of the night, might be 10 cents per kilowatt hour. On peak, 4 p.m. to 9 p.m., when everyone is cooking and charging EVs, might be 40 cents per kilowatt hour. If you just have solar, you produce power at noon when it's cheap, sell it to the grid for pennies, and buy it back at 6 p.m. for a premium. You are getting robbed. If you have a battery, you store that solar energy in the battery at noon. At 5 p.m., when rates spike, you disconnect from the grid and run your house off the battery. You are effectively selling your own power to yourself at the peak rate. Let's do the math. You have a 10 kW battery. You charge it for free from solar. You use that 10 kW during peak hours. If the peak rate is 40 cents, you are saving $4 a day. $4 a day is $1,460 a year. Over 10 years, that battery paid for itself twice over, just on the spread between cheap and expensive power. And when the grid goes down, which is happening more often, you still have lights and internet while your neighbors are in the dark. Step 6. The Smart Thermostat Strategy. Stop manually adjusting your thermostat. You forget. You get lazy. A smart thermostat in 2026 uses AI and geofencing. It knows when you leave the house. It learns how long your house takes to heat up or cool down. The Department of Energy estimates you save about 1% for every degree you adjust your thermostat for 8 hours a day. If you let the thermostat automatically adjust by 7 to 10 degrees while you are at work or sleeping, you save roughly 10% on your FAC bill. That is $180 a year on an average bill. The thermostat costs $100. You make your money back in 8 months. Let's wrap this up with a case study. Imagine a house. Let's call it the 2026 optimized home. It has a smart thermostat and LED lights everywhere. The attic is sealed. It has a heat pump for HVAC and a hybrid water heater. It has solar and a battery for arbitrage. Compare it to the house next door, the standard house. Same size, same number of people. Standard house bill, $300 a month, $3,600 a year. Optimized house bill, $90 a month, $1,080 a year. The optimized house is saving over $2,500 a year. Over 10 years? $25,000. That is a college fund. That is a new car. That is freedom. And here is the secret. The standard house owner spent 0 hours on this. The optimized house owner spent a few weekends and some phone calls. The grid is not your friend. The utility is a business, and their goal is to increase revenue. Your goal is to keep your money. Stop paying the convenience tax of inefficient appliances. Get the audit. Seal the leaks. Upgrade the heat pump. Install the battery. Turn your home from a liability into an asset. The technology is here. The rebates are here. The math is done. All you have to do is pick up the phone or the cork gun. Get to work.